The real question is, did Keefe D lie to Greg Kading and the U.S. Attorney like he did to the FBI? Let's get into some of this straight game.
Life is like the cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy Delray Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And like I always say, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and click on what appears to be that little bell notification right below the video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, did Keefe D lie to Greg Kading and the U.S. Attorney like he did to the FBI? A lot of people are not aware or really don't remember, if you will, the fact that when Keefe D was initially approached, should I say, by the FBI, Keefe D gave a statement to the FBI in regards to the Tupac situation, right? And so when he gave that statement, Keefe D told a bunch of lies. He basically said that after the situation had happened, he had told his nephew, Orlando Anderson, to just let it slide, don't worry about it, and so on and so forth, right? And so basically, and then coming out later with the book and all of that stuff, and then, when he did the proffer agreement, basically confessing that, yeah, his nephew did shoot Tupac Shakur, right? Well, outright blatant lies, perjury, if you will. I don't know what the situation was involved with the FBI. Was he under oath when he gave that statement, or was it just an initial statement to the FBI? But what I do know for a fact is that he lied, and he admitted that as much in the movie Murder Rap, right? So now, what Keefe D did, and then what he, should I said, had a better recollection of events once he had got hemmed up for the PCP and all of the other stuff that he was facing, basically facing life in prison, then his excuse was as to why he cooperated, right? Was the fact that they were going to take everybody's houses and so on and so forth from them involved in the drug activity or in the drug situation that he was dealing with, right? And that he had been set up and somebody had told on him and bought drugs from him and all of these other things, right? So now the pressure is on, and so now Keefe D has a better recollection of events involving the Tupac situation, in which he basically says to Greg Kading them, if y'all keep it real with me, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. You know what I mean? And it baffled me. So my thing was, well, did Keefe D lie to Greg Kading? Was he coached to say some of the things that he said in regards to that, basically to get off on the charges that he was facing? Because what it showed me was when he went to the FBI, he was willing to lie to the FBI like it wasn't nothing. And Keefe D's not a stranger to going to prison, so he ain't scared of that. You know what I mean? But that's been on my mind because there's a part in the Murder Rap where Greg Kading, it was the other guy, I think it was another police officer or FBI agent, asked where did the white Cadillac come from, right? And Greg Kading basically tried to answer the question, or basically lead Keefe D, if you will, before Keefe D got a chance to answer the question, right? And like I said, you can go back and check that out if you watch Murder Rap, right? But more importantly, did Keefe D lie to Greg Kading like he did the FBI? You know, because minus Keefe D doing the interviews on All the Dialogue, Vlad, all of the other channels and things that he appeared on, right? Minus him doing that, we would have never known whether it was a lie or the truth, or he would have never been convicted, you know, from that perspective. So you would have nothing to contrast it to, if you will, you know. So if what Keefe D said in the proffer agreement, everything, you know, he confessed to it, is what the public was understanding at that particular time, but he couldn't be charged with nothing based on the proffer agreement, right? And the deal with the U.S. Attorney's Office. Okay. So other than him doing those interviews and mentioning things outside of what the proffer agreement had said, or what he had told them and what they included in it, which none of us really have seen yet from that perspective. We heard the videotape when we seen Murder Rap, but the actual agreement and what the intricacies of that agreement is, right? So how would we know, once again, because there was nothing to be measured up to? Like in the FBI situation, what was to be measured up to that was the fact that he had got caught with the PCP and he caught those other charges. Okay, now here's the pressures on, you know what? We want to know about this situation right here, but Keefe D automatically, evidently, or should I say, eventually, told them about the Tupac situation, right? And from what it sounded like in the Murder Rap situation was that they weren't looking or expecting that at all, right? So now, you know, there were people who say they seen Keefe D in Vegas that night. I'm not doubting all of that, but like I said, as to what that is he telling the truth? That's what most people want to say. But this is the other thing. Whether he is or isn't, the defense, which I think is going to be, well, I was lying when I went on those channels. I was just telling them what they wanted to hear. I was just, you know, kind of playing up to it. They were paying me, so I was just saying, anything to them from that perspective, and just it was entertainment value from that angle, right? Which would be a defense that he would try to offer up, because remember, in the Tupac situation, he already tried to say Tupac tried to grab for a gun and we bust back. We know that's not true, right? But now it's what's the defense? More importantly, did he lie? Because we'll never know, because there's nothing to match it up to. Greg Kading comes, out looking like the hero, the person who solved the case, if you will. And, from that perspective, he makes money off of what he's doing, and rightfully so. I'm not tripping on that. But like I said, when you think about the situation overall, the defense, did Keefe D lie? What's going to be his defense in going to court? Basically saying, you know what, I was lying. None of what I said was true. What I said in the initial proffer agreement was the actual facts behind the situation, and so on and so forth. So does that make that now, his statements now, any more or less effective? And like I said, if we're believing, this is very serious, man, because if we're believing what Keefe D said in those interviews, well, he indicated that Sean Puffy Combs, was the catalyst that moved that situation forward. Whether that was what that was, in the Vegas situation, whether that was the reason to really move forward is a whole nother thing. So there's a whole story behind that has to be pieced together, if you will, because if we're to believe one thing, we got to believe it all. You cannot just, say, okay, yeah, I want to believe this part, but I don't want to believe that part, because that doesn't help my case. And so what does Keefe do? Keefe D do? Does he cop a plea? If they come to him and they offer him a plea, say, hey, we're going to offer you 10 years. Does he take that 10 years? Or does he fight it and say, well, I didn't do nothing. I already had a deal with the government, and the stuff that I was telling these people was just lies. It was just entertainment for entertainment's sake. You know, it's going to be very interesting how they try to apply that. Because like I said, if you're going to believe one thing, you have to believe it all. And so, like I said, once again, Keffe D initially lied to the FBI. He admitted that to Greg Kading and said all of the shit that he told the FBI was bullshit. After he had got caught and hemmed up for the PCP, and then all of a sudden, everything that he was going to tell Greg Kading was supposed to be the truth and real. So my question is, do you think that Keffe D told Greg Kading the truth, or he told him a lie? And what do you think Keffe D's his ultimate ace is going to be when it comes to him going to court? Will he say, you know, all of that was just lies? I was just, you know, I was just bullshitting. I was just, you know, saying anything. You know what I mean? They was paying me. I was just taking the money. You know what I mean? Just playing, you know, going along with it, you know? It's going to be very, very interesting. And then you get to his book, you know, what he said in the book, right? So because this is the thing. When he wrote the book, think about it. They weren't coming after him or doing any kind of investigation after he admitted what he admitted in the book. It was only after he kept talking and doing more interviews and doubling down and tripling down that they came up with this indictment, which was like, you know, 3 months ago, right? You know, and so it's going to be very interesting, man. So tell me what do you guys think? You know, what do you guys think? Do you think, you know, he going to take a plea? You know, he going to say that, you know, basically, I was lying. I was doing it for entertainment purposes. Or do you think that he going to take it to trial and try to, you know, try his hand? Yo, chime in below. Tell me what y'all think. Your boy Delray, Straight Game.